It's now time for Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson. Heard weekdays on Everybody's Country, Y95. Sponsored by Beth Smith and Edward Jones and ProMed Ambulance Services. So-called true crime magazines were highly popular in the 1930s, and the movie G-Man, starring James Cagney, released in the spring of 1935, had proven to be a big hit. Producer-director Phillips Lord thought there was a place on radio for a show of the same type. To emphasize the authenticity of his dramatizations, Lord produced the initial radio show, G-Man, in close association with FBI honcho J. Edgar Hoover, who was not particularly favorable to the notion of such a program, but Attorney General Homer Cummings gave it his full support. Hoover, on the other hand, insisted that only closed cases would be used. G-Men lasted just a short while in 1935, but on January 15, 1936, a sequel series, Gang Busters, was launched. If anything, the opening sound effects became even more elaborate and aggressive. The show would open with a barrage of blaring sound effects. A shrill police whistle, convicts marching in formation, police siren wailing, machine guns firing, and tires squealing. Then, an authoritative voice would announce the title of that night's program. Tonight, Gang Busters presents the case of the fill-in-the-blank. Finally, the open would end with more blasts from a police whistle. This intrusive introduction led to the popular catchphrase, "Came on like gangbusters." To lend an extra air of authenticity to the presentation, Phillips Lord brought in Norman Schwarzkopf Sr., former head of the New Jersey State Police and father of the Gulf War general. That authentic voice became even more important after Lord ended his connection with the FBI. After about 1945, Louis Joseph Valentine, the crime-busting New York City Police Commissioner, replaced Schwarzkopf as the authoritative introductory speaker. Gang Busters initially ran on CBS until 1940, when it moved to the Blue Network, the forerunner of ABC. In 1949, it returned to CBS and stayed on the network until 1955, when it moved to Mutual, concluding its run in 1957. During the first half of the 50s, Gang Busters made the transition to television via NBC. Actor Chester Morris served as series host. Although the show did well in the ratings, finishing at number 14 its first season and number 8 its second, its alternating with Dragnet, another holdover from radio, didn't help matters much. NBC decided that Gang Busters would no longer be used as a stopgap show and chose not to renew it for a third season. Phillips Lord revived the series in 1954 for first-run syndication. 39 episodes were produced. Most, if not all of them, are in the public domain. Some episodes were later re-edited into a couple of feature films, one also called Gang Busters, the other titled Guns Don't Argue. Until next time, I'm Price Robertson, and we leave you now with the sound of the end titles to Gang Busters.